Sana Yousaf was a young woman with hopes much like anyone else. Born in Chitral, she grew up surrounded by a large and supportive family. Her personality was kind, reserved, and thoughtful. As she moved to Islamabad for education, she found herself drawn to creativity and social media. Like many in her generation, she turned to platforms like TikTok to express her ideas. Her videos were not meant to be bold or rebellious. They were light, sincere, and sometimes reflective. She never aimed for fame. Yet the attention came. Her quiet presence and natural beauty attracted more views, and before long, strangers began noticing her in ways she never intended. One of those strangers was a man named Umar Hayat. Umar came from Punjab and was significantly older than Sana. He became aware of her through TikTok and began following her online. What started as digital interest slowly turned into something much more intense. Umar developed a strong one-sided obsession with Sana. He tried to get in contact with her, and though she never encouraged or invited his attention, he continued to pursue her. His messages and attempts to meet her in person became frequent. Her family, aware of the situation, warned her to stay careful. She changed accounts, avoided interactions, and tried to create distance. But Umar was persistent. As time passed, Umar's obsession became more controlling. According to early reports, he traveled repeatedly to Islamabad, attempting to approach Sana directly. Some statements later revealed that he had even visited areas near her residence, attempting to gather information. Sana, feeling threatened, shared her concerns with her family. There were discussions about filing a formal complaint, but nothing concrete was done initially. The situation seemed to quiet down for a short time, but the silence was temporary. In October 2024, Umar allegedly tracked her location again. He made contact under false pretenses, pretending to want to resolve past misunderstandings. Sana, known for her polite nature, agreed to meet, possibly to clear the air or avoid further tension. What happened next was sudden. Inside a private space near her residence, the interaction turned violent. According to FIR filed by her family, Umar assaulted Sana fatally, then fled the scene. She was declared dead soon after. The initial shock of the news sent her family and community into deep mourning. The country soon followed. The FIR named Umar Hayat as the primary accused. Law enforcement began their search immediately. Within days, he was located and taken into custody. The police released brief statements confirming his involvement. The FIR contained detailed testimony from the family and evidence from the crime scene. Social media began filling with calls for justice. Her story spread quickly, especially because Sana was already known to many through her online presence. People shared her videos with messages of sorrow, disbelief, and anger. Many couldn't understand how someone so peaceful could be targeted so violently. As the case moved forward, new details emerged. Umar had no history of official complaints against him, but his behavior, according to people who knew him, showed signs of possessiveness and control. He was not close to Sana, but in his own mind, he had created a false relationship. This type of obsession, often seen in parasocial attachments, becomes dangerous when boundaries are not respected. In this case, those blurred lines ended in tragedy. Television news channels covered the case extensively. Analysts discussed the failure of digital safety systems, lack of legal protection for women online, and the rising cases of stalking connected to social media. In Parliament, lawmakers briefly referenced Sana's case, calling for tighter measures to track and report online harassment before it escalates. Women's rights groups organized candlelight vigils in cities across Pakistan. Hashtags in her name trended on Twitter, with thousands demanding immediate legal action and long-term reform. Her family, though devastated, chose to speak to media. Her father described Sana as a soft-spoken, ambitious young woman who never sought fame and always respected others. He asked for privacy, but also requested that people remember his daughter for her character, not just the tragedy. Her mother, in a brief interview, said Sana had always stayed away from conflict and simply wanted to live a peaceful life. The community in Chitral held prayers, and local leaders expressed grief at the loss of such a promising life. The legal process advanced with speed. Umar Hayat was formally charged. His statement, recorded by authorities, contained partial admissions. He did not deny being present, and his defense revolved around claims of misunderstanding, which investigators did not accept. The court proceedings attracted large public attention. Human rights lawyers stepped in to ensure transparency, while others tracked the case closely to ensure justice was not delayed or compromised. Sana's name became part of a growing conversation around the safety of women in digital spaces, where visibility often attracts unwanted and unmanageable attention. She became a symbol of innocence lost in a world where technology moves faster than the laws meant to protect users. Some of her old videos resurfaced with soft music in the background, creating memorials by people who had never met her. They spoke about the silence in her eyes, the calm in her smile, and how they never imagined something so terrible would happen to someone like her. The court set a date for the full trial. Legal experts expect the case to set a precedent. Prosecutors are pushing for the highest sentence allowable, arguing that the murder was premeditated and rooted in a long pattern of harassment. Defense lawyers, while not denying the crime, are seeking reduced charges. Observers believe that given the attention and clarity of evidence, the outcome will likely result in conviction. However, many note that beyond punishment, the larger question remains, how can future victims be protected before it's too late? Now investigation focused on digital evidence. Authorities analyzed phone records, message histories, and location data. It confirmed consistent efforts by Umar Hayat to contact Sana over a prolonged period. Forensic teams recovered deleted messages and screenshots, revealing a pattern of fixation. These messages were presented to the court as proof of harassment. Investigators also examined CCTV footage from the area on the day of the incident, confirming Umar Hayat's presence near Sana's residence hours before the tragedy. On social media, Sana's story became symbolic of many similar incidents that went unnoticed. She represented every girl who felt unsafe online, every family that had tried to warn their daughter, and every society that failed to act early. Hashtags like #JusticeForSana trended across South Asia. Activists connected her case to wider campaigns against online violence and offline consequences. The legal proceedings moved into witness statements. Neighbors reported hearing an argument, though few could intervene in time. One neighbor later testified that they saw a man leaving the premises in haste, which matched Umar's description. The testimony helped reinforce the prosecution's timeline. Alongside witness accounts, forensic reports added scientific backing to the claims, ruling out any ambiguity in cause of death. In court, Umar's demeanor remained largely quiet. He gave limited responses, mostly through legal representation. The defense strategy slowly shifted from denial to claiming emotional instability. However, the court questioned why he had made repeated efforts to reach Sana and why no action was taken to seek help or report concerns if he felt mentally unwell. The judge emphasized the calculated behavior leading up to the crime. Sana's family attended most hearings. Their presence was dignified and quiet. Their lawyer, while restrained in public comments, made strong arguments in court regarding the need for a strict sentence. He stated that this was not just a case of violence, but an example of digital obsession turning fatal, one that needed a legal answer that would set an example. During the final sessions, the prosecution presented a timeline of events, combining digital logs, witness reports, and expert analyses. The defense had little to refute. In its final statement, the prosecution appealed for the maximum sentence, stressing the pain inflicted upon a peaceful family and the broader message it sent to other stalkers who might be emboldened if the case ended lightly. After weeks of proceedings, the court delivered its verdict. Umar Hayat was found guilty of premeditated murder and sentenced accordingly. The judgment included detailed notes by the judge, who cited the importance of early warnings, the role of digital platforms, and the duty of the legal system to protect vulnerable individuals from obsessive threats. Sana's family issued a short statement thanking the court, the police, and the public for support, asking that Sana's name now be remembered with peace, not sorrow. Following the verdict, Sana's name continued to be mentioned in discussions about women's rights and internet safety. Though she is no longer alive, her memory continues to inspire change, quietly, respectfully, and meaningfully. That's it for today's video. I hope that you liked it. Stay tuned for more chilling cases.